Sri Krishna Charitam, the epic tale. From the dark night of Mathura to the fading light of Dwaraka. The night the heavens stirred. In the kingdom of Mathura, beneath a moon veiled by sorrow. The iron walls of a prison heard the whispers of prophecy. Devaki trembled, not from fear, but from the weight of destiny. And Vasudeva, bound in chains, watched the hours slip like sand. When the 8th night of Shravana arrived, thunder hushed, time held its breath. A blaze of blue radiance filled the prison cell. The Supreme, the Eternal, had chosen his moment. Krishna emerged not as mortal flesh alone, but as the infinite clothed in infant form. The chains broke, the guards slumbered. The river Yamuna parted like a curtain of devotion. Sheshnag spread his hoods like a mountain of mercy. As Vasudeva carried the child through storm and darkness. To Gokul, the cradle of divine play. Gokul's dawn of delight. Nanda celebrated the birth of his foster son. Yashoda, the mother of all mothers, held in her arms a child with galaxies swirling in his eyes. The village began to bloom. Butter tasted sweeter, cowbells rang with joy, and every dawn felt like a festival. Yet shadows followed the infant. Putana, the night hag with poisoned breasts, fell lifeless from his gentle suckle. Shakatasura, the wheel demon, was shattered by his playful kick. Trinavata, the whirlwind, spun into the sky and vanished in defeat. The villagers whispered, "Who is this child who laughs at death?" The mischief maker, beloved of all. Krishna, the butter thief, the darling thief of hearts, crept into homes with stealthy steps, hands dipped in pots of cream and curd. When accused, he widened his innocent eyes, and even Yashoda's strict heart melted like fresh butter. But once, when his pranks rose beyond measure, she bound him to a mortar with ropes of love. Bound, yet unbound, the divine crawled between two ancient Arjuna trees, and with one tug, he uprooted them, releasing two celestial beings, freed by the grace of the child god. Vrindavan, the playground of eternity. When danger thickened around Gokul, Nanda led his people to Vrindavan. A forest of peacocks, river song, and sacred breeze. Here Krishna grew into youth, his flute calling cows, friends, and hearts. He danced on the grass still wet with dew, the world swaying to his anklet bells. The serpent Kalia, the Yamuna wept poison from Kalia's coils. Krishna leapt into the waters like a streak of lightning. The serpent rose, hissing darkness. But Krishna climbed onto its heads, and danced a cosmic rhythm, pressing down arrogance, raising up surrender. The waters turned pure again, Govardhan uplifted. When Indra unleashed storms of spite, Krishna smiled, lifted Govardhan hill on his little finger, and sheltered all beings, human, animal, divine. Indra bowed, humbled by the shepherd boy, who was lord of the skies, the rasa of love. When the moon embroidered silver across Vrindavan, Krishna played his flute. A call that beckoned the soul, more than the ear. The gopis dropped all tasks, drawn by the melody of eternity. They danced with him under star-woven nights, every heart believing he danced for them alone. And among them, Radha, a flame that matched his own, the mirror of his essence. Their love, not of flesh, but of boundless spirit, echoed through lifetimes. The call of duty, Mathura awaits. The world beyond Vrindavan cried for justice. Kamsa's tyranny grew like a poisoned tree. Krishna left the groves of his youth, a goodbye that made even the trees tremble. In Mathura, he felled the elephant Kuvalayapida, crushed the wrestlers Chanura and Mushtika, and in a thunderous leap, ended Kamsa's reign of terror. Peace returned to Mathura, but destiny marched on without rest. Rukmini, the bride of devotion. From Vidarbha came a letter, trembling with the love of Princess Rukmini. She invoked Krishna as her only refuge. He rode like the sun on a chariot of gold, seized her hand at the altar, and took her as his queen. A union of devotion rewarded. The forging of Dwaraka. Jarasandha's armies, like waves of destruction, crushed upon Mathura again and again. Krishna, the master strategist, chose not battle but preservation. He led his people westward, to the whispering shores of the Arabian Sea. There rose Dwaraka, a city carved by Vishwakarma's celestial skill. Golden walls, sapphire waters, bridges like rainbows turned to stone. Krishna ruled with wisdom, fathered sons, guided kings, and shone as statesman, warrior, and timeless protector. The fading of the Yadavas. Years flowed like silent rivers. The Kurukshetra war passed, a wound carved across history. Then came the curse, born of arrogance and fate intertwined. The Yadavas, drunk with pride, turned against one another. Steel clashed with steel, brother fell upon brother. A storm of self-destruction foretold by sages. Only Krishna stood untouched, watching destiny unfold. As he always had, not as participant, but witness. The final wandering. When the last cry faded, and Dwaraka awaited its oceanic grave, Krishna walked alone. Across the sands of Prabhas. The sea breeze hummed old memories. The world felt heavy with silence. Under a peepal tree, he rested. The eternal choosing to end his earthly role. A hunter's arrow, guided by fate, found him. Krishna smiled, not in pain, but in promise. As his mortal form faded, Dwaraka sank into the embracing sea, but his name rose higher than ever before. On lips, in hearts, in the rhythm of existence. Thus ends the mortal tale of Krishna. But the eternal story has no end.